What's up, man? It's Victor Glad Alicea here in the house. Say, let me know if you're coming on here live or if you are catching the replay. What's up, Santos? Santito? What's up, Diane? Listen, man, emotions help create emotions, so we gotta get warmed up before we get started with this. What's up, what's up? Nadine, how you doing, everybody? Let's go. Having a real good time here. Come on, everybody. All right, what's up, Zulu King Freeze? I think we got some really good information here for so many people who are just like forgetting about all the success they've had in their life. People would just like to focus on their failures, man. You're stuck somewhere. We're gonna help switch that around and help you out here today. What up, people? Victor Glad Alicea again, coming to you live, man. I hope you guys get some value out of this. Share with other people if you do. What's up, Nancy? How you doing? Good to see you on here. All right, well, here we go, man. I want to talk to you guys about success being a learned behavior. And sometimes, you know, we like to focus on our failures instead of our successes. And I got to be honest with you, there's two things that you need to realize. Number one is that you've had many more, maybe 4 or 5, 10 times as much success as you have had failure. That's just something to let that sit in. Let that sit in. At least 10 times more success in your life than you've had failure. Yet we focus on our failure. It's what takes us, you know, keeps us moving either forward, you know, in a direction that doesn't help us, or backwards in a direction that doesn't help us. When you focus on your failures, right? And the second of the thing is that most of the time we have learned valuable, very valuable, you know, lessons from our failures. We've learned some incredible stuff from our failures when we decide to say, what can I learn from this and grow? As a matter of fact, I want you to stop thinking about any event, because that's what it is. It's an event, something that happened, as a failure, right? Stop thinking about any event as a failure. Stop making that, you know, it's just a delay in results. Did you hear that? Let me say that to you one more time. It's not a failure, it's a delay in results. Did you get that? It's an opportunity to learn from an experience. It's an opportunity to learn from an experience. When you fail, it's an opportunity to stop and say, what happened here? What happened with my life? How did I get here? But what can I learn from this and grow? They're not failures. They're learning opportunities. Unless you sit down and just quit. That's when it's a failure. When you just sit down and say, I can't do this. I'm not good enough. I can't do it. It's just an opportunity to learn. That's right. Right? It's a delay in results. Failures, or not even failures, just when you get to that point where things are not working out, it's just a delay in results. Listen, all right? So there's these are not failures. Like I said, they're learning opportunities. Keep that in mind. And listen, one other thing I want you to know is that you can't learn less. Did you hear that? You can't learn less. So even if something happens, you can't not learn from that. You know, you can't learn less unless you have Alzheimer's or you have dementia. Tomorrow you won't wake up learning less. You can only learn more. You can only grow. You know, if you choose to, right? You can accept, you know, for, like I said, except for, you know, Alzheimer's and dementia, you can't learn less. You just can't. You can't wake up knowing less than yesterday. That's not going to happen. We are born to learn. We are born to grow. And it's funny because, you know, we teach our kids from early. Let's just imagine. Do you remember back in the days when if you're a parent and the first time that your child dropped, you know, let's say a jug of milk or spilled something, and we just, you know, we immediately yell. Not that we're mad or angry, but we just yelled maybe to protect our child or whatever. But the child freaks out. Can you imagine, you know, if your kid drops some milk and you run over and you react differently, right? And instead of yelling, you go, wow, look at that big mess of milk. And turn it into a happy thing, right? And then walk over and say, you know, eventually we're going to have to clean this up. But why don't we sit here and play with the milk? Let's see what we can create. And you put little things inside of it, or you can, you know, like take a spatula and make it look like you're splitting, you know, like the Red River, and just have fun with it, right? And then at the end of it, when you finish them playing, saying, okay, well, what we have here is a bad experience of trying to carry our milk. Or, you know, just use this in any other situation. And you're talking to your kid, well, you know, so why don't you go outside? Let's go outside and let's go practice, right? I'm going to give you a bottle. I'm going to put some water in it. And I want to see how you can carry that across the room and put it on the table. Right? And you know, and they'll fall and fidget, but you just let them keep doing it until they figure out a way. And so it's a failed experiment of carrying milk. It's a mistake. And so starting over, you know, and teaching the kids to take the time and learn what it is. It's okay to make mistakes. The whole lesson of this is about that we have to understand that it's okay to make mistakes, to get to a place where you didn't want to go when you're building your business and have to turn back and learn something new. It's okay to make a mistake. You just keep trying until you find a way that works. Can we have grace with each other? Wouldn't it be great if we were kind to each other when we made mistakes, right? And talk to each other and give yourself a break when you make a mistake. How amazing would that be if you can give yourself a break? You know, you made a mistake and just, you know, wow, man, how did I get here, man? Let me figure this out, instead of, you know, you suck, you're the worst. You never can do it. You're not good enough. You're not going to ever get this. Wouldn't it be great if we can give each other and ourselves a break and the permission to make mistakes, to have fun making mistakes? If we would teach that to our kids now, as they grow up, they're going to have fun making mistakes and understanding that it's just part of the process, right? And to accept that a mistake is normal. It's part of, you know, of how we learn. Is through mistakes is where you grow. You know, and you think about it. As a kid, you try to do things 100 different ways until you get it right. You'll keep doing it over and over and over. Like when the kid falls down, he gets right back up. He doesn't even need nothing. He, you know, falls on a bike and get back in on the bike and keep pedaling. You know, it's time to return to that childlike state of innocence. You know, get back to that where you can just be playful, you know, and try new behaviors and try new things until you find what works, and believe in yourself and give yourself grace to make mistakes. So based on all of this, man, I want to help you guys right now, right? I want you to get out a pen and a paper and write this down, right? So you can hear this over and over again and do this for yourself, okay? In your own. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to break down your life. Break it down into 3 parts. Like if you're 30 years old, the 1 through 10, and then 11 through 20, and then 21 through 30, right? Split it in any way that it is and it works for you. Split it into 3 parts equally, right? In the first part, you know, this is when you first started. Write down 4 or 5, you know, things that you've done, successes that you've had. 4 or 5 of them. Write them down. You know, first of all, walking, talking, reading, understanding, listening, being able to, you know, communicate, you going to school, you know, learning how to draw. There's so many different things that you've done in those years, and we've forgotten about our successes because we're so focused on the things that we didn't have. We always like to grab on. We don't allow ourselves grace for making these mistakes. You know, we keep repeating them as a bad thing, and how awful we are. So I want you to write it down. The first 4 to 5 things about you that you did when you were, you know, age 1 through 10 or 1 to 15 or whatever it is that you divide your life into. Write it down. What happened during that time, you know? For me, it was, you know, 1 through 18, right? I got to divide my life into that right now. But 1 through 18. By 18, you know, I was the shyest kid on the planet. I stopped being shy. I learned how to dance, you know, and then after, you know, well, let me tell you the rest of it first because I want to add that to it so I can explain the whole thing, right? And then, when you do write it down, what insights did you get from that success? Like learning how to draw, you know, that whatever it is that you did during that time. What was the insights? What joy did you get? What comfort did you get from that? How did it change you at that time, right? What qualities did that teach you? Like patience and perseverance, focus, you know, things like that. Now, what skills like speaking, you know, writing or reading, stuff like that. So me, I learned how to dance and I wasn't shy anymore. So I learned how to communicate with other people. I learned how to express myself through dance. You know, I learned that if I worked hard enough on a move, that I would get it. That perseverance, you know, that resistance, you know, persistence beats resistance every time. That I just worked and worked and worked until I got something, right? I learned how to manage a group. You know, I learned so much. So this is just a reminder, something that's going to build you, to help you, to remind you all the things that you've done in your life, instead of all the things that you failed supposedly at, instead of you stopped learning at. These things that you mistakes instead of failures, right? Because we don't want to call, you know, any event a mistake anymore, right? We want to, you know, let's stop calling it that, right? It's just a delayed result. Did you continue until you got the result that you needed, right? It's an opportunity to learn from the experience. It's not a failure. So change your attitude about that stuff, right? And so now you go to the second half and, you know, 4 or 5 things that you've done that are successes in your life. You know, some of you by that time, you know, are graduating from high school, or graduating from college, or, you know, married and have kids. And, you know, these are successes. You know, you have your own home, your first homeowner, you know, you're whatever it is in your business, you know, you started a business, or you're like at a level over here, or you got great grades. There's so many successes. And I want you to remind yourself. Write them down, 4 to 5 of those, right? And write down the insight. What did you get? What did you learn from, let's say you got a degree, you know, that's studying hard, you know, and listening and going to class and all these things, and, you know, just showing up and all these, you know, those are the insights. These are the things that you learn, right? And what joy did you get? I got to graduate. I was, you know, proud of myself. You know, I knew that I could do these things that I set my mind to, you know, and what, you know, qualities did that teach you? You know, perseverance, you know, hard work, you know, determination, you know, what skills did you get? You know, I learned how to write. I learned how to read. I learned how to, you know, really put words together. All these things, man. So I'm here to help you. I'm hoping that you are enjoying it, man. I hope that this helps. You remember that, you know, success is a learned behavior, guys. It is something that we learn over and over again by giving ourselves, again, the grace to make a mistake. Allowing other people, teaching other people when things happen that, you know, this is just a mistake. You know, how do we, you know, even the simple act of spilling milk with a child, instead of running around the corner thinking that they're going to drown themselves or ruin your carpet or whatever it is. Just went over there and like sit down and like, oh, this is great. Look at this milk mess. This is beautiful. Let's have some fun. We're going to have to clean it up, but let's have some fun in the middle. And then teach the kid to, you know, to go try again, to grab the milk and in different ways, or whatever it is. It's something, like he reaches for something and knocks something over. This is a mistake of learning a failed effort at learning how to grab the ball from the counter without all other things falling. Just learn how to teach each other about these mistakes, give each other grace, and be better people, man. And I love you out there. I hope you got some value from this. By the way, this is from Jack Canfield. The Success Principles is a great book. It's a 30-day workbook. I think it's like 99 bucks. I don't make any money, but I love it, and I've helped a lot of people with that. I've worked, and taught people some stuff from there. It's a great workbook. Jack Canfield is an incredible leader. There's a lot of good stuff that you can learn from this guy. Do yourself a favor, learn some personal development, grow. Mistakes are mistakes. Opportunity to grow, right? Opportunity to grow. But delay in results, that's the failure is a delay in results. This has happened. You're amazing. I love you. I believe in you. Have a wonderful, beautiful day. Be outstanding. Think about 3 words for you. Relentless, powerful, obedient. And write them down. Think about them for today. Live them out. Have a good day. Pump it up. I love you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll talk to you soon.